Dear Ukrainians, today is Ukrainians' Independence Day, the 35th anniversary, a national holiday whose taste the war has profoundly changed. 1,643 days of full-scale war. Right now it is truly very hard for all of us, but we are held firmly by the hand by a force that is not invisible at all. It is the strength of our shared circle, of supporting one another, of never doubting the person beside you, of believing in all Ukrainians. And as long as the enemy does not break that circle of ours, Ukraine will not fall. It will win its peace, and it will make it. In all his plans for Ukraine, Putin was wrong about the main thing. The enemy counted our resources, our depots, our equipment, but failed to take the key factor into account: people. The greatest achievement of independence, the people who make up this state, people who take responsibility, who do not want Russia here, and who are clawing out peace and independence. The Russians thought of us as a younger brother, they say. Life has proven otherwise. To them we are strangers. Every feature of our character is foreign to them. Everything that makes Ukrainians Ukrainian. They cannot imagine what it means when hundreds of thousands of volunteers step forward to defend what is theirs. When the teacher, the interpreter, the farmer becomes a warrior. For me it is always an honor to receive from such people a piece of their greatness, their strength. These and hundreds of thousands of other patches on the shoulders of our defenders are charged with the light that God sees from above, and He takes our side. Hundreds of thousands of names, fates and characters are holding the front and holding our independence. I thank every soldier who through all these years, all these days, and at this very moment is in the fight so that Ukraine may live. You defend our capital. You liberated the Kyiv region, the Kharkiv region, the Kherson region, and a week ago the entire Dnipropetrovsk region became free. You are not surrendering our Donbas. You will not surrender Ukraine. You are the finest defenders, men and women alike. You are the best army in Europe, period. And that is the plain truth, because our military stands not only on doctrines and standards, it also has a heart that needs no additional order to be brave. When you are doing 160 kilometers an hour in a pickup to save our wounded soldiers already being hunted by Russian drones, and in less than a minute you pull those warriors out, men not even from your own unit, but certainly of your own kin, the Ukrainian kin. That act by the hero of Ukraine, Vladislav Polsky, traveled across the whole country. With all of this, we are already defeating Russia with our will, our technology, our resilience, our dignity. With those pure feelings that live in us despite the war, we have kept our tenderness, though we could have turned savage. Our honesty, where it could all have been written off to the war. We have kept the habit of being the first to help without asking whose trouble it is. We have kept the human being inside us. When a whole street welcomes someone home from captivity, when an elderly couple has their picture taken among the cherry blossoms, when an Odessa bus driver sings to his passengers to lift their spirits after a night of strikes, when an entire village rebuilds a stork's nest, when the last few meters up to Overla mountain, a brother in arms on a prosthetic leg is carried by the others, because that is exactly what it means to leave no one behind. When a son who has only just learned to walk throws his arms around his wounded soldier father. And of these and hundreds of other frames from our life are living proof we have not hardened as a country. As a whole country we fight, we laugh and we cry. As a whole country we love. And in that we are 100 times stronger than Russia. And 100 times stronger than all their tanks on parade is this girl of ours, Taisia Onofrichuk. She was 5 years old the last time Ukraine won gold. 13 years later, it has happened again. Despite all the attacks, all their destruction, all their evil, we still find in ourselves this capacity to win and to do the impossible. And in a great war there are no small deeds, and every such achievement by our people can genuinely set off thousands of chain reactions across the whole country. Someone drawing energy from these emotions will go back to a laptop or lathe with a new drive so that our force is more precise, faster, more painful for the enemy. To do more. Our defense industry today is truly a giant, one that forges our independence 24/7. And we must do more. Tens of thousands of unmanned ground systems are carrying out ultra-hazardous missions at the front and have already saved thousands of soldiers, but we must do more. Our naval drones are in action. The enemy had a fleet. It is turning into scrap metal, but we must sink more. Our mid-range strikes are cutting their logistics. Our long-range capability is cutting their revenues. Moscow, Tuapse, Tula, Ryazan, Olenia, Omsk, and dozens of other locations have already seen hundreds of our deep strikes, places Ukrainian justice now reaches. Russia must see more of that justice. Flamingos must not be a rare species. They must be a common bird, and they must winter in Russia. I thank everyone who through these 4 years and right now is working in our plants and building up our defense industry. This is our pride. But pride does not blind us. We see what Putin is doing and what he wants. A solution to his ballistic terror must be found, and this bet of his must not pay off. Ukraine has already solved problems that at first looked insurmountable. Remember the day when 40 Shahids first flew at Kyiv? Some shouted that it was the end. Others looked for solutions and found them. Today we bring down 90% of the Shahids. Russia switched to jet-powered ones. We are shooting those down too, but we have to do it at a scale. The same must happen with the Banderol missiles. The same must happen with their ballistic missiles. Ukraine is doing everything to make that happen, and it will. Because it has proven more than once, our stubbornness is beyond their caliber. Behind these words stand millions of Ukrainians of finest virtues, skills, experience, ability to improve, to grow stronger and to keep moving no matter what. I am proud of our people, who every morning find the strength to get up, to do what you can, to be where you must. And on this day, someone is racing out to the people at the front line because war knows no days off. Someone right now is defeating death in an operating room, and someone got up before dawn today so that our streets are clean, so that the harvest is brought in from our fields, so that everything is ready for the school year. Because in a week from now, thousands of first graders across Ukraine will hear their first bell. And that is Ukraine, where, in the 5th year of a full-scale war, life is winning. Ukraine remains itself. Ukraine is proud of its own, of its Kharkiv, truly unconquered, of its Dnipro, truly unstoppable, working and saving lives without a pause, of Zaporizhia, and its character of steel, of Odessa and its optimism, the optimism in people who can charge up the sun itself and drive out the Russian darkness. We are proud of our Chernihiv, Sumy, Kryvyi Rih, Kramatorsk, Nikopol, of every city and village that is close to the front line geographically, yet a world away from Russia in values. Thank you. You are a fortress. Thank you for standing firm. Dear Ukrainians, I am grateful to you for your confidence in Ukraine, in our army and in our state. The firmness of that faith is one of the great achievements of this time, not to doubt Ukraine. Not when it is easy or fashionable, but because it cannot be any other way. I very much want us to keep this, to be confident in our state, in our army, in ourselves, in everyone beside us, in those you can count on and who count on you. On this Independence Day, that is worth thinking about, worth recognizing four things. What we have already achieved, where we are now, what lies ahead, and what we must do. Putin is stuck in the past. He still sees an old model Ukraine, one that stays silent, swallows it, puts up with it, and that Ukraine exists nowhere except in his folders of briefing papers. Our state has long been a different one. Not an observer, but a player. Not a victim, but a fighter. We will not let them seize the initiative, nor deceive Europe and the world into believing that Donbas simply has to be handed over and it will all be finished. We have no illusions. We have no trust in them. We are not going to spare the Kremlin 500,000 soldiers. Russia keeps pushing back the dates when it will, any moment from now, definitely take the whole Donetsk region. It will go on pushing them back. Ukraine is different, and it does not give away what is its own. Russia does not want peace, it wants mobilization. We take that with a cool head. We act. We must strengthen the army and have everything needed to hold the defense. Our warriors must be supplied and equipped with everything so that every new draft of their enemy's army becomes fertilizer for our soil. Putin is counting on us, growing tired. We, meanwhile, know that he is mortal. He never understood us, and now he no longer has the time to. You wanted to take all of our land. Instead, you lost your refineries, your fleet, your revenues, an entire generation of your own that you fed into the meat grinder. You wanted us gone from the map, and now it is you who have gone from the international agenda of the civilization to come. For 27 years, the head of Russia has been talking about greatness, while Russia queues for gasoline. We must be united and press them until they yield. Ukraine, Europe, America, the world. I'm glad that the United States has lost every illusion about whether Russia truly wants to end this war, and I believe America will shed all its contradictions and phobias regarding Russia. The Russians must be brought to the negotiation table. We finally need sanctions that will make them howl. Ukraine must be giving everything that will force them to end this war, and it is possible. About everything that defends Ukraine today, we were told first impossible, then extremely difficult, then not that fast. And then America took a decision, and it worked. And America's strength was beyond question. We're not asking anyone to fight for us. Give Ukraine everything it needs to stop this war and to stop it faster than Putin can start the next one. To prevent that, we must act together. Europe must be Europe, united, ambitious, bold. China must not stay silent. When someone dresses up in a sailor suit and a garrison cap and, mispronouncing half the words, talks about a nuclear strike, China must respond, must cool that fervor down. China must prove its ambition to be one of the world's leaders not only economically and technologically, but in civilizational terms as well, by making it clear that no dictator may threaten this planet with his aging warheads. Ukraine and the world together are capable of stopping this. This ally of our gratitude is the proof the planet is full of brave people, and there is still a great deal of room here for new deeds and new gratitude from Ukraine. We remember everyone who stood with us in the hardest times. We believe in everyone who stays with us now. This friendship is itself an expression of the finest human qualities present in Ukraine and its partners, and that is why nothing will shake the coalition Ukraine has gathered around itself. There are more people on Ukraine's side. There are more countries on the side of truth. Ukraine has countless such friends, and there is no ally on the world large enough to hold the names of all who carry a Ukrainian heart. All those who stand today with Ukraine, with our army, with our people, and none of this is charity or mercy, it is an achievement of our state, of a Ukraine that long ago stopped asking, a Ukraine that offers, motivates, and unites, a Ukraine that wants peace and will win it. Dear Ukrainians, 35 years ago Ukraine was reborn, it restored its independence. That independence was not given to us and not lent to us, it was fought for. People took risks for it. People gave their lives for it so that everything done by previous generations will become this day. August 24th of 1991. Ukraine's time had come, but no one ever promised it would be easy or carefree. On February 24th of 2022, history put our independence to the test. It asked us a question: who are we? A crowd or a nation? Weaklings or warriors? A buffer between civilization and the orcs, or a state? I thank the millions of Ukrainians who gave and go on giving their answer in favor of Ukraine, in favor of independence. We have been clawing it out for 1,643 days, bravely, steadfastly, stubbornly, and we meet this day with a particular kind of emotion, with a whole spectrum of very different feelings gathered over the time of this war. Ukrainians are proud of themselves, but without pomp. They celebrate modestly, they congratulate one another, knowing exactly what independence costs. Our eyes are full of tears and of hope. At the same time, we are in pain, but we are learning to be stronger than all their evil. We are all tired, but we do not complain for long. Ukraine wants peace, deeply, but it is not prepared to simply give up. Over these 35 years, we have heard a great many forecasts about ourselves. Almost none of them came true. They said the state would never take shape, that we would not survive the upheavals, and on February 24th, that we would last a matter of days. Yet, we have been holding all this time, the time of a war for independence. The struggle for it, the struggle for the freedom of every generation before us has been so desperate that some in the world call us mad, and Ukrainians have always done everything so that one day they could say, God, we are free. 35 years ago, that day came, and the day when there is peace in Ukraine will come as well. We all are human, and all of us want to live not in historic times, but in quiet, calm, safe ones. In Ukraine at peace, Ukraine that made it, that stood firm, that preserved itself and its independence. That is what we are fighting for, that is what we are standing for, with faith in one another, in our defense forces, in our state. Take care of yourselves and of those beside you. Take care of the memory of every hero who gave his life so that Ukraine might live. Take care of your state. Take care of your independent Ukraine. Happy Independence Day, Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine.